Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. And make sure to stick us to the end of the problem, where I have 3 bonus problems that are similar to this one, which you guys can try to solve. Alright, so I have 4 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 3x. So I want to find the value of x here. Now, first off, 4, this is the same thing as 2 to the power of 2. So if I replace 4 with 2 to the power of 2, I get 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 3x. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x, that's going to equal 2 to the power of 2 times x, which is the same thing as 2x. Now this is equal to 2 to the power of 3x. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, then this means that m is equal to n. So in this case, 2x is equal to 3x. Now, to solve this, I'm first going to subtract both sides by 3x. So then these two cancel out, and now I'm left with 2x minus 3x is equal to 0. Now, if I factor out x from here, I get x times 2 minus 3 is equal to 0. 2 minus 3 is negative 1, so now I have negative x is equal to 0, and if I divide both sides by negative 1, I get x is equal to 0 divided by negative 1 is 0. So my answer is x equals 0. Now to check, my original equation was 4 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 3x. Now I know that x is equal to 0, so now I have 4 to the power of 0 is equal to 2 to the power of 3 times 0. Now 3 times 0 is simply 0 because anything times 0 is 0, so now I have 4 to the power of 0 is equal to 2 to the power of 0. Now any number to the power of 0 is simply equal to 1 besides 0 itself. So 4 to the power of 0 is going to equal 1, and 2 to the power of 0 this is also equal to 1. So I have 1 is equal to 1, and because this is right, my solution is right as well. Alright, so I have 3 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to 2 to the power of x plus 1. So right here, I want to find the value of x. So for my solution, first start with 3 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to 2 to the power of x plus 1. Now, I'm going to take the log on both sides. So now I have log 3 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to log 2 to the power of x plus 1. Now, if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can simply move this exponent b to the front of the logarithm. So this is going to equal b times log a. So in this case, I can move both x minus 2 to the front as well as x plus 1 to the front. So now I have x minus 2 times log 3 is equal to x plus 1 times log 2. Now for both of these, if I distribute log 3 and log 2, well, first off, let's start with x minus 2 times log 3. X times log 3 is simply x log 3, and negative 2 times log 3 is negative 2 log 3. This is equal to x times log 2 is x log 2, and 1 times log 2 is simply just log 2. So now I have x log 3 minus 2 log 3 is equal to x log 2 plus log 2. Now I'm going to subtract x log 2 on both sides. So then these two cancel out, and now I'm left with x log 3 minus x log 2 minus 2 log 3 is equal to log 2. Now I'm going to add 2 log 3 on both sides. And these two cancel out, and now I'm left with x log 3 minus x log 2 is equal to log 2 plus 2 log 3. Now if I factor out x from here, I have x times log 3 minus log 2 is equal to log 2 plus 2 log 3. And 2 log 3, remember how I can just bring this to the front. So now I have x times log 3 minus log 2 is equal to log 2 plus log 3 squared. Now if I divide both sides by log 3 minus log 2, these two cancel out, and I'm left with log 2 plus log 9, 3 squared is 9, over log 3 minus log 2. Now log 2, this is equal to 0.301, plus log 9, this is equal to 0.954. Now I have this over log 3, this is equal to 0.477, minus log 2, again, this is equal to 0.301. So now this is equal to 1.255 over 0.176, which is equal to 7.13. So this is my answer. Alright, so I have 3 to the power of x is equal to 30. Now to start, 30 we can rewrite as 3 times 10. So now I have 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 times 10. Now I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3. So these two cancel out. And now I am left with 3 to the power of x over 3 to the power of 1, because anything to the power of 1 is the same thing as itself, is equal to, all that's left is 10. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is going to equal a to the power of m minus n. So, in this case, we have 3 to the power of x over 3 to the power of 1, and this is going to equal 3 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 10. So now, to solve this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the log on both sides. So now I have log 3 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to log 10. Now, if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can actually move this exponent b to the front of the logarithm. So this is going to equal b times log a. So in this case, log 3 to the power of x minus 1, I can move x minus 1 to the front. So this is going to equal x minus 1 times log 3 is equal to log 10. Now, if I divide both sides by log 3, these two cancel out. Now I'm left with x minus 1 is equal to log 10 over log 3. Now log 10, this is actually equal to 1. So now I have x minus 1 is equal to 1 over log 3. And log 3, this is equal to 2.0959. So now I have x minus 1 is equal to 1 over, 1 over log 3. 1 over log 3, this is equal to 2.0959. So x minus 1 is equal to 2.0959. Now, if I add 1 on both sides, these should cancel out. Now I'm left with x is equal to 3.0959. So this is my answer. Now to check, my original equation was 3 to the power of x is equal to 30. So now, we know that x is equal to 3.0959. So now if I plug this in, I have 3 to the power of 3.0959 is equal to 30. Now 3 to the power of 3.0959, this is equal to 29.99989, and this is equal to approximately 30. So, meaning 30 is equal to 30. So our solution is right.
Hey guys, welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a nice algebraic equation. So right here we have our equation, x to the power of 6 equals x minus 1 to the power of 6. And if you notice, you can see that both sides of the equation are to the power of 6. So to simplify this equation, why don't we find the sixth root of both sides? So then we can make it much simpler. So x to the power of 6, we're going to do x to the power of 6 to the sixth root. And this is going to equal the sixth root of x minus 1 to the power of 6. And these two actually cancel out. So x to the power of 6 to the sixth root, it's going to cancel out because these two are opposites. So remember, opposites cancel out. So this is simply going to result in x equals, these two are going to cancel out as well. So we're just left with plus or minus. Remember, we got the plus or minus x minus 1. So now this gives us two equations. This gives us x equals positive x minus 1, or this gives us x equals negative x minus 1. Let's first try the positive. So we're going to do x equals x minus 1. It's just, and now if we subtract x on both sides for this, we get 0 equals negative 1. And this is actually a false equation, meaning this wouldn't work. X can't equal x minus 1. So we can't use the positive version. So now let's try the negative version. Let's do x equals negative 1. It's the same thing as just negative x minus 1. So now we're going to have to distribute this negative 1. So we're going to multiply with x and negative 1. So this results in x equals negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. And now we're going to add x on both sides. And x plus x is 2x equals 1. And now to isolate x, we're going to divide by 2 on both sides. These two cancel out. So we're simply left with x equals 1/2. And this is our answer to this equation. Now let's check to see if it works. Why don't we plug in 1/2 into our equation here? So this is going to be 1/2 to the power of 6 equals 1/2 minus 1 to the power of 6. Well, 1/2 to the power of 6, that's going to be 1/64. And this equals, well, 1/2 minus 1 is simply -1/2. And -1/2 to the power of 6, well, that's the same thing as 1/2 to the power of 6, because even if you square a positive or negative number, as long as our exponent here is even, then our answer is always going to be positive. And since our exponent here is even, then our answer here is going to be positive. So -1/2 to the power of 6 is also 1/64. So this is right, meaning x does equal 1/2. So this is our answer to this equation.